Hey guys, so kind of a disclaimer here right up front. I didn't notice this until I was well over finished with the review here, but apparently at some point when I was messing with the graphical settings, the window of which Streamlabs captures the gameplay actually, I guess, went out of whack because for the entire rest of the video, you're only seeing about a portion of the left side and upper left side of the screen, which is really annoying after spending all that time recording that. But there's a lot of useful commentary in there. I don't think I'd be able to recapture that raw. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm just going to have to let it go. But if you guys want to see more actual gameplay, I will gladly record a new video and make sure that it gets recorded properly. Anyways, guys, I'll let you get right into the video. Welcome, friends, to another episode. We're going to be trying something even more different today. Today, Assetto Corsa EVO has just entered early access. This is the very first day of early access. I'm a big sim racing fan, and I knew that I would just have to try this game when it came out. So I'm really excited to try this and get right into it. Now, this is going to be kind of more of a video regarding like my initial thoughts, kind of a gameplay review, technical review, just kind of get a sense of what the game is and what it's going to be about. This is, again, day one of early access, so don't be surprised if we see some bugs or even necessarily like a lack of content, or things may not be as polished as you may expect them to be. But I think that's all going to be just fine, considering this is day one of early access. You just kind of have to take all that with a grain of salt. Know that they're going to probably smooth that out before the actual launch. So let's not set our expectations too high, but I am pretty excited for this game in particular. So let's get into it. Let's see what we have. So first things first, I have my Fanatec wheel here with my CSL DD, the WRC steering wheel. I'm assuming the game has probably some configurations and support for a lot of sim rigs right out the gate. Fanatec being a pretty big brand, I would be surprised if they didn't have anything for that. Actually, I think they had some documentation released of some recommended settings. We can go through that in a different video. But let's just make sure everything works here. Alright, well, I'm not getting any response from the wheel right now. Alright, well that may not be a big problem. Let's just go ahead and get into this here. Let's make this a little bigger for myself. Okay, so here we've got the early access roadmap. We are here, first early access release. What does it say? There's 6 circuits, 5 circuits, 20 cars, single player, practice, quick race, special events, game economy step 1. Interesting. Okay, VR support step 1, triple screen support, showroom selection, and car customization step 1. So it kind of seems like they're going to be phasing a lot of this stuff in slowly over time. So I think, kind of going back to what I said earlier, there's going to be some polishing as early access kind of gets further into its roadmap here. Looks like there's a second early access release with some new cars and some new circuits. Doesn't really say when that's going to drop. Sorry, get that back here. So I don't know, we'll kind of see what that's going to be like eventually, but this one's probably going to be pretty bare bones. I'm kind of okay with it so far. Alright, so first things first, this obviously looks pretty weird for me graphically, so we're going to go into our graphic settings here and just see if we can get things a little bit more traditional. Alright, so 60 FPS frame rate, definitely going to be bumping that up. Wow, okay. I think I'm probably just going to bump that up to 240 FPS. I mean, I have NVIDIA control panel that will automatically lock it to the frame rate that I've set in there, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm never going to hit 240 anyways. Definitely want full screen, don't care about vertical sync. Let's go ahead and apply those first. Okay, everything looks good. Looks like we got the 2K resolution, that's to be expected. Upscaling. We will probably want DLSS. That's going to be fine. I'm going to leave all this just default for right now for anti-aliasing, because if I'm going to use DLSS, that's all going to get disabled regardless. Let's just go ahead and crank everything up, shall we? Let's see what this game looks like. Experimental static level of detail. I don't know what that means. Let's go through this. Looks like we got some pretty basic settings here. But I do like that there's quite a bit of granularity and a lot of options to choose from. So we got global illumination, ambient occlusion, volumetrics. Yeah, these are all pretty standard in modern AAA titles now. Environment reflection, that's interesting. Oh wow, so they separate those. That's interesting. Shadows, obviously we're gonna bump all of this stuff up. We want to see what this game looks like at its absolute possible best, assuming that our computer can even run it. Post-processing effects, natural. Oh, interesting. There's like different effects that we could add to this. Huh. That almost seems like that would be for more of like a photo mode, or if you were gonna create like specific scenes or like with recording and whatnot. That's interesting. All right, so we do want some motion blur here. I think that just kind of gives you the feeling of the car zipping through a little bit quicker. Oh, this is quality, so we're probably gonna want to max that out. The motion blur strength will leave probably like half, just fine. Mirror resolution, yeah, again, same thing. Just gonna knock it all straight up here. I don't know if I'm not gonna mess with the post-processing effects right now. I'm just more interested in everything else. Go ahead and apply those. Okay, that was pretty quick. I'm gonna turn on my little FPS meter up here. Don't know if you guys can actually see that in the recording or not, but looks like we're holding about between 130 and 140 FPS, which is actually pretty good. Now I have a 4080 for reference. Okay. Well, this all looks pretty good. We have nothing from our steering wheel, so we're gonna go into our controls here and see if we can get that figured out. We have a Fanatec wheel. Interesting. There's like 2 Fanatec wheels. What's up with that? Well, I mean, it kind of looks like it found it, but currently active and bound devices. Steering none, throttle none. So do I have to bind it all myself? This will assign a control binding for steering. Move an axis. I am moving an axis and I ain't getting anything. So I'm assuming that's interesting. I wonder, manage presets. What is this? Xbox 360 keyboard phone? No. I don't really care about any of that, I don't think. Interesting. Alright, so let's try this one. Oh, okay, we got something. Alright, let's try throttle now. Alright, let's try brakes. Looks good. Clutch, can do that too. Handbrake, we've got that. Okay, so those appear to be bound now. Pedal gear up. We do want that. Okay, so that registered. Pedal gear down, we've got that. That all seems okay. I mean, that's pretty much the basics of needing to drive a car. Looks like there's even hotkeys for specific traction control levels. That's interesting. And ABS stages. Yeah, it looks like this gets pretty in-depth for, you know, you racetrack enthusiasts out there. Quite nice. Okay. I think that's all I'm gonna look at for right now. I'm using my settings for Project Cars 2 as kind of a baseline to see how that feels, and then we can obviously, you know, kind of adjust that later as we get a little bit more comfortable with the game. I think we're gonna go ahead and try let's try driving. Let's see how it goes. So We're definitely just gonna go for some practice here, I think. Practice duration, 10 minutes. Sure, that'll give us enough time. That's fine. This all looks pretty okay. So race duration, 10 laps. 10 minutes or 10 laps, I guess, whichever comes first. That's fine. Automatic, number of opponents. You know what? Actually, I don't want any opponents. Actually, do I have to have opponents? I kind of want to just free roam, but that's okay. I'm going to drop the opponent skill down a bit. I don't want to have to worry about too much. Just want to get more comfortable with the game. Okay. Practice. Alright, let's change my car. Let's see what options we have available here. So, I kind of want something that's going to have a little bit oomph to it, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. None of these cars look particularly interesting, but I do like the Honda S2000. That is a beautiful car. Ooh, we also have a Ford Escort Cosworth. That's pretty nice. Let's just go with the Honda S2000 first and see how that goes. It doesn't look like we have any customization options here just yet. Oh, interesting. Look at that. Okay. I don't think we need to worry about that. Let's go ahead and go back. There's not a ton of cars available, which is just fine. We'll keep the assists on until we start getting used to it a little bit more. Let's go ahead and start this. Let's see how it goes. Because the only thing that matters at the end of the day is how the driving feels. If you're playing a racing simulator, it needs to feel good when you're driving the car. That is the most important thing about it, right? Don't think I need to go into much else here. I think we've got everything pretty much figured out. Let's go ahead and try it. Feels pretty responsive so far. Not getting a whole lot of feedback in the steering wheel right now. Might have to adjust that a little bit. Did it just shift for me? Actually, I just noticed there's no map, so I don't know. Okay, now we're getting some feedback in the wheel. Alright, I actually feel pretty good. I can feel quite a bit. Alright, I gotta figure out how to pause this game, because I actually do not know. I don't know this track, there's no mini-map, so gotta have to be a little slower here on the first lap while I figure things out a little bit. I wonder if that's something I could turn on, actually. I mean, so far this feels pretty good. The force feedback is really light under lower speeds, but now that the car is getting up to speed, it definitely feels a little bit better. Yeah, it's definitely shifting for me. I hate that. I have to figure out how to turn that off. Oh boy. That was a mistake. Oh boy. Don't mind me just completely skipping half the track. Oh boy, okay. There's a lot of feedback through the wheel there. Alright, I'm gonna pause this for just a second. I need to figure out... what was I looking for? I literally just had it. What was I looking for? I think I wanted to turn up the force feedback a little bit. That was a little bit weak. Other than that, I think we're okay. Oh yeah, that's right. The automatic shifting. Screw that. Freaking redline it forever until I tell it to shift. Let's see. Modifiers. No. No. Car. How would you... Where would you change that, actually? Wait. Settings and view settings? What's up with that? Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's probably not going to be anything in there. Controls. I mean, it's got to be in here somewhere, you would think. Go to the wheel. Huh. UI. Oh, I guess it's not going to be in UI. That wouldn't make any sense. Add modifier. That's interesting. It's probably somewhere in the assists, actually, I bet. So I bet you if we go back to restart the session, maybe something in here. Oh, you know what? Vehicle setup. No, this isn't quite what I'm looking for. Let's actually go back to the main menu here for a second here, because I just want now it's bothering me. Here we go. Automatic gearbox. There it is. Turn that shit off. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine for right now until we start getting a little bit more comfortable. Just don't want to deal with that. Oh, damn it. I forgot to look for the mini-map, too. Let's see. Settings, no. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's anything for minimap here. Maybe it was under view settings. Kind of digging this like menu music, by the way. That's like pretty tight. All right, let's just get the car. View settings. Here we go. Let's see. Wheel and dash, mirrors. No. I am kind of surprised. You know what? I'm gonna actually just take a quick second to Google this. Maybe somebody else has found it. Although this just did come out today, so kind of seems like nobody really knows. The joys of early access, right? I mean, oh, dashboard display in HUD. Interesting. That's weird. Okay, whatever. Discard. We don't care. We're gonna look just for like another minute or so. If we can't find anything, then it is whatever. We will just go on without it and deal with the fact that we are not good at this game and we're not good and we just don't know the map. Settings, controls. It's not gonna be anywhere in there. All right, guys, let's just get right back into it, huh? All right. Fine. Totally just gonna slam out of the pit here. Don't you dare shift for me again. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, we got a racing line now. Did we have that before? I don't think so. Is it gonna tell me to brake? Because that'd be nice. It will not tell you to brake. We'll give you the line. That's helpful. Ooh, back end came out a little bit there, but I could feel it in the wheel. I actually had a little bit of responsiveness in the wheel itself that the back end was coming out. That felt good. That section up here where I made a huge mistake is coming up, so I'm going to take this just a little bit slower to make sure I don't make that same mistake again. Right here. Oh, back end came out. That's okay. Saved it. Came off the line a little bit there. Downshifting a little bit too early. Oh. You know what? Overall, though, this feels pretty good. I kind of liking it so far. Obviously, you know, some features I think that we would like to see more out of it, but this does feel pretty good. Waiting for my next big mistake here. You know what? I actually vaguely remember this track from a different game. Maybe it was from Competizione, because I did play that a little bit. Project, and I'm honestly just been in Project Cars as well. Probably braking a little bit too early there, but that's okay. Just trying to get a little bit more comfortable with the game. We're not looking to necessarily push the lap times. This does feel pretty good. Now, I don't know how to change my view. I'm assuming that's something else I probably have to hotkey. Kind of seems like everything right now has to be like manually hotkeyed. It doesn't have like any set like presets in there right now, which isn't a big deal. You know, you do that once and you're pretty much set. You know. Oh god, brake too late. Oh, back end's out. There we go. Now we got it. Get that mouse out of the way. Just thought that was in the middle of the screen. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, now we get to see how good my memory is. Now I've been through the track at least once, so I should have at least some idea of what's coming around each corner. I will say the sound of this S2000 sounds really nice. Alright, now I gotta slow down here because this is where I made my big mistake last time. Just stay in second gear here, I think. Slow down a little bit more. There we go. Nice. Oh god, I forgot. Another tight turn there. Alright, but you know what? Much better than our last attempt at this. We know there's another tight turn coming up here, so we can start slowing down a little bit ahead of time. Getting control of the car with a fast exit. Very nice. Much better in the second lap. Yeah, now that we're starting to get the rhythm here, this feels actually really good. Cranking that force feedback up, definitely giving me a little bit more feedback in the wheel without overwhelming me or feeling like it's gonna, you know, snap my wrists in half. So that feels really good. You can definitely feel the car coming under load when you're accelerating quickly out of a corner, or when you're at speed trying to make those little adjustments. You can definitely feel the weight of the car and the G-force that it's under, which feels really nice. Alright, I think I've got a pretty good feel for this track, so I think we're now, this time, this lap, we're actually going to try to set a new record. I think I've got all the corners in my mind now. We're going to start picking up the pace a little bit. I just have to remember not to brake a little bit too late here, like I did last time. Much more controlled. Little too much. Little too much. It's alright. Let's recover. Oh yeah, this is feeling really nice. Alright, we know we gotta slow down here. Don't know that we need to go all the way into second. I will here. Alright, slow down a little bit more here. A little bit messy, but we made it work. Still feeling really good. Feel like we're really starting to zip through these corners now. Alright, slow down more here, second gear. And a little bit too quick on the exit there. That's okay. We are smashing our previous lap time. And I just know that if we cleaned it up even a little bit more, we didn't push quite as hard into some of these corners, you know, slow in, fast out, I think we would be in a much better situation to cut off even more time. Slow down a little bit here, let's stay in 5th. Actually, I don't even know that we need to get in 5th there. We could probably take that almost flat out in 6th. A little bit fast again. Brake a little bit early. Alright, so we shaved off about 2.5 seconds so far. That feels pretty good. There it is. Alright. Oh. Definitely and a little too hot. Alright, so we're a little bit behind now because we had a really terrible turn 1. Let's see if we can claw it back. Alright, now we're gonna brake here. Probably stay in 4th. There we go. That was good. Actually, we might have been able to drop into 3rd there, honestly. Drop into 3rd here for sure. There we go. Now we claw back our time by doing better in this section than we did in the previous attempt. That felt pretty good. Let's go flat out here a little bit. Nice. Alright, slow down here. Oh yeah, look at all that time we just gained. Alright, so we're going to stay in 3rd here. We're going to go flat out here for a second, and then we're going to start braking into this next corner. Go. Oh, got a little slip. There we go, recovered. Alright, 3rd, down into 2nd. Fast out. Oh, that felt way better. I really like the responsiveness in the steering wheel. Every time the back end starts slipping out, I can really feel that in the wheel and what the game's trying to tell me about the car. And I really appreciate that. It makes me more informed and lets me know what I need to do to regain control of the car. We're just going to go flat out here in 6th. Hell yeah, just because we can. We're going to have to brake a little bit heavier here, but that's okay. Alright, so maybe we could do it, but we've just got to make sure that we brake in ample time to make the next corner. Alright, what is this? Another half a second? Alright. Let's make sure we take this corner appropriately this time. Alright, last lap. Not going to push it any further with this. We're going to go as fast as we possibly can on this lap while remaining clean and efficient, and we'll see what time we end up on. Alright, gonna get some braking in here. We're gonna go down into third. Came off the line just a little bit, that's okay. Alright, slow down here, get back into third. There we go. Flat out. Little throttle modulation there, make sure we stay on our line. Flat out here. Throttle modulate. Oh, that was really, really close. Very nice though. Alright, come down into third. Throttle modulate. Flat out. Alright, we're going to drop into third here. Just going to modulate our throttle through the corner. Drop into second. Flat out. Brake. Flat out. Oh, lost the back end there, but it's okay. We recovered it. Drop into second here. Actually, no, a little bit early. Now we're going to drop into second. Continue to brake. Get through the corner. Go flat out. And now we're going to take this corner up here in sixth again, just flat out. We're not going to let off an inch. We're just going to make sure that we brake in time for the next corner, and we should be just fine. Let off the gas, brake. Let's go all the way down into third, actually second gear. There we go. Oh, we are slamming through this track. Brake a little bit later. Get down into second. Braked a little bit too early there, but that's okay. And now we just smash through the gears until we cross the finish line. And we just shaved off roughly another 4 seconds. Nice job. Alright, well, we're definitely not going to make it all the way back around the track to get in the box, but that's okay. Just wanted to see what our best lap time could be. It looks like we're at 2:43. It's very nice. That felt really, really nice. Alright, you know what? Let's try a different track, different car, see how it goes. Oh, look at this. Best lap 2:43.440 in the S2000. That last lap felt pretty good. I did lose a little bit of control of the car in one of the later turns, but not too bad. Very nice. And it feels very ah, that's unfortunate. So, the game did crash on us. You know, not a big deal. Again, this is early access. Don't think we have anything much to worry about there. There's definitely going to be bugs and issues. They're going to sort this out before it's released. I'm not that concerned. Alright, let's go ahead and close this out. Did my settings change? Oops. You know what? We could probably honestly just turn DLSS on. Just call it a day. Oh, DLSS Ultra Quality. That looks nice. Pretty sure it's going to override anything I've got going on over here, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one. Let's see what other tracks we've got here. Now, I don't really know any of these tracks that well. though. You know, kind of have to forgive me there. I'm just gonna pick a random one because I don't know them by name. We are gonna do a different car here. I think we're gonna try. I don't know what this this number up here means. Don't know what that means, but let's go ahead. We're gonna try this club sport here. If the maybe that means something about performance. Automatic gearbox. Yeah, all looks good now. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. I don't know if I need to modify anything in here. I might just bump this up a little bit just to give us a little bit more time to screw around. Oh, that's right. That was another thing I wanted to try too. Was I wanted to look in the controls and see how we could change the camera. None of this looks at all interesting in that regard. Do we not have any settings to toggle camera settings yet? It seems like such a really basic thing that you probably could have included even on day one of early access. Drivable? What does that mean? What does drivable camera mean? Well, that kind of stinks. I wonder... Here, let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can look at the keyboard settings. Maybe it's something I can do on the keyboard. Camera, drivable F1, onboard free look. Aha! Okay. So it was the drivable command. Let's go ahead and I mean they could really call that something better. Let's see, where is drivable in here? I'm just gonna set this real quick. Drivable. We're gonna set this to Y. Sure, cause why not? Let's see, what other commands are we possibly missing out on here? Doesn't look like anything too crazy there. Paddle gear up. Nothing else here seems to be interesting. Okay. Onboard free look? Wonder what that means. Free? F7. What does even some of this stuff mean? So confusing. F2? Alright, hang on, guys. Oh, that's kind of cool. So it literally frees the camera so you can kind of like scroll around the car. That's actually kind of neat. I dig it. Alright, what is F7? Wait, the other one was F7, wasn't it? Controls, camera, free? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so we're just going to try a different... Let's just try the chase cam. It's typically my preferred camera anyways. Let's see how this feels. Ooh, this car feels like it's got a little bit more giddy up. I actually don't know what the pit speed limit is, so I'm just going to assume that it's somewhere around 35 miles an hour. Alright. Oh, that feels pretty nice. Oh, I know this track. I've been on this track in Competizione. This car definitely feels like it's got a little bit more oomph than the S2000 we had. Still feels pretty good to drive though. Oh, a little bit slow there on the exit. That's okay. A little bit slower on the entrance. With a better line, we would have definitely had a faster exit there. That's just fine. The reason I like the chase cam a little bit, especially when I'm getting used to stuff like this, especially when I don't have a mini-map either, it kind of lets me see a little bit more of the track sooner than I would normally be able to with just like a typical like dashboard cam. Hopefully the mini-map is something that they add in a future episode. Or a future patch. I went through that a little bit, a little bit too quickly. That's okay. The car itself feels good though. Too, being on the chase cam, it does give me an opportunity to see a lot more of what's going on outside the car. You know, we're looking at the details of the track, the world around the track. It actually does look pretty good. I mean, it's not like blowing my mind or anything, right? But it does look good. And that's, again, something that they could probably even further improve on as they get further and further into development. You know, I'm sure graphics are important to them, but when you're talking about a racing simulator, graphics aren't exactly top priority. I would say the physics of the car, the way the tracks feel, the way the car feels, you know, and steering wheel support for different racing sigs. Wow, I cannot talk. Racing rigs. Is more important than, you know, the grass-looking high-texture res and, like, ray tracing and shit. Like, that stuff can come later. That's, like, the polishing, you know, the final touches. The way the game feels is what's way more important early on. And so far, I have to say, the game feels pretty good. Obviously, you know, for a first phase of a early access game, there isn't really a whole... Oh, damn it, I did it again. There isn't, like, a whole lot of content here to go through. You could probably go through all the cars and all the tracks in, honestly, one day, and you will have seen everything. But it's a nice little start. It looks like they've already got, like, a roadmap figured out. They know where they want to go. They know where they are, and they know how to get there, which is really important. And Assetto Corsa is a game that's been around for a little while, and they've struck big success across all the games that they've made up until this point. So I have all the faith in the world that they will be able to make something really special out of this. And the thing that really excites me about this game, more than some of the other ones, honestly, is the fact that there's also going to be like an open world, like free roam type of situation, which is honestly like really cool. I mean, I'm a big fan of just being able to pick my favorite car and just drive around town and, you know, just kind of get a feel for it, see the sights, just explore, do whatever the hell I want, you know. Being confined, you know, racing on a track is really fun, but sometimes you want a little bit more than that. Sometimes you don't really like to be, oh my god, confined to a track, you know. You want to just drive your car, you want to explore, excuse me, and just kind of see what the world has to offer, you know. So I'm kind of hoping that there's like some little surprises and stuff out there as well, maybe some events that we can trigger. You know, it doesn't have to be like we're playing freaking Forza Horizon or anything, but it would be kind of cool to see that there's some sort of purpose to the free roam besides just cruising. Although that will probably be the main thing I do in free roam is literally just cruise. But if they can add even more value to it, then I think that's just a no-brainer, and will just keep people playing the game a little bit more and stay engaged, and give them something to do, a little bit of a variety. I think that's really important. I think that's kind of one thing, at least for me, personally. Oh, we're not gonna do this again. We're not doing it again. Ah, we did it again. Ah, fuck. All right, it's fine. All right, I actually want to switch back to the cabin view here. Wow, this car just got so freaking quiet. Okay, sure. Anyways, what I was saying is a big problem for games like this, at least for somebody like me, who's kind of more of a sim racing like amateur. I kind of just do it for fun. I like a variety of things to do, and while having different tracks is fun, having different game modes and having a little bit more depth to those game modes is something that's really important to me. So anything that they can do to add value to free roam on top of the track racing and whatnot is going to go a long way for people who maybe share the same opinion as me. But I will say, the game does feel really good on my Fanatec wheel. And I haven't even gotten to the point of, I haven't even gone through their documentation yet. I saw that they released it. It has kind of like a list of, recommended settings to have the best possible experience with a Fanatec wheel. And I looked at it for a second, and then I saw Fanatec was in the list, and I was like, all right, good enough for me. I'll do it later. I just want to get into the game and see how it feels. Right now, the settings that I had for Project Cars 2 is working just fine. I would be curious to try the recommended settings just to see what difference there is, but this honestly feels good just the way it is. So I don't know how much I would change, but if it's even better than this, then that's a freaking gold star for me right there. Oh. Lost a little control of the car there real quick. I haven't really been focusing on the track too much, just trying to, kind of keep up commentary a little bit more. It's kind of hard to really think about what I'm doing in the car, but also try to talk about what's going on in the game. Oh my god, I did it again. Alright, I am not allowed to quit this game today until I stop skipping that freaking corner. I am not going to skip that corner again. If I do, I'm going to Alt F4. That's going to be the immediate end of the video. Too funny. Alright, well, anyways, guys, I think this is going to be a win for me so far. It is a little bit more of an expensive early access buy-in. It looks like the normal MSRP price for early access is going to be $40, but it looks like right now for early adopters they've got it for either 10 or 20% off. I forget which one it was, but I think this was like $32 when I bought it. That would make it 20. Yeah, that would make it 20%. And this is just specifically for people who are really wanting to get into early access as fast as possible. And I really like Assetto Corsa. I think they do good things, so I'm okay with giving them my money a little bit early. $32 is kind of a lot to ask for, or not even $32, but just $40 in general is kind of a lot of money to ask for someone to pay for something that's this early in early access. But it does come with a promise that there's supposed to be a lot more content released with that, and assuming that if they do raise the MSRP for the actual launch of the game, that we don't have to pay the difference since we were early adopters and bought it in early access. It's usually how that goes. So I'm kind of okay with it in the long term, even if I don't feel like I'm necessarily getting my money's worth right now. I will feel like I'm getting my money's worth by the time the game is done. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of okay with that, especially with the 20% off in the early adopters discount that they're offering right now. That feels pretty good. Not necessarily a no-brainer, but just something I'm okay with. It doesn't really bother me. Oh, here we go. Here's that corner. Hey, look at that. Holy shit, we did it. Oh, man. Alright. So, you know, just as a disclaimer here, you know, this is the kind of the first review I've ever really done on my channel, especially for something this early access. It is something I'm really excited about, so obviously I have a little bit of a bias towards it, you know, and just as a rule of thumb, definitely don't get all of your information from like a single source on a new game, you know, and that goes with pretty much everything in life, but especially with new game reviews. You know, watch a couple of your favorite content creators, watch a couple of your favorite influencers, you know, see, just kind of get a gauge from, you know, 3 or even 4 content creators and just see what the general consensus of the game is. You know, I may like it, but there may be other people out there who hate it, and maybe they have a good reason to hate it. You know, and maybe the reason that they don't like the game is a reason that you won't like the game. You know, so just don't rely solely on this YouTube video to make a decision on whether or not you're going to buy this game. Definitely go around, see what other options are, or see what other reviews are out there, see what other people are saying, and, you know, kind of make an informed decision on what you think you would like to do with your money. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? We all work hard for our money. We want to make sure that when we spend our money, we're getting our money's worth. And at the end of the day, you are the only one that can make that decision for yourself, since that is a subjective opinion. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this short initial review and technical review. I'm honestly having a good time playing this. I think the steering wheel feels great. I really like what they have planned for this game. Obviously, it's a little bit light right now. There's definitely some things that need to be cleaned up in like the GUI and like settings. I think some of the settings are really confusing. Obviously, we need way more cars than this if we're gonna like really properly test this game. But for what they released so far, honestly, this feels pretty good. You know, the S2000 felt really good. This Club Sport feels pretty good. The detail inside the car looks fantastic. Graphically, the game looks pretty good. The cars look great. The world around it, you know, just my own personal preference, I would like to see some polish there. But that's just my final, you know, closing thoughts here. Otherwise, I really think that Assetto Corsa has some really good potential here, and they could turn this into something amazing, especially with the addition of free roam. And again, if they can add some big value to free roam, I think that's going to make player engagement go up. Especially, there's a lot of people out there who like racing games, but they also like to just cruise, so let's keep our fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Definitely leave a comment down below if there's anything you'd like me to try or give my personal opinion on. If you liked the video, definitely like and subscribe. I may put out more content as, you know, we get further and further into the early access roadmap. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.